Let's talk about kids who are found. Drake Maye.
Oh, dude.
Right? By the way, I love your reaction.
Stoked.
Dude. Okay.
So stoked.
So now you're born in Massachusetts, raised in Vermont.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And so Patriot fan since birth?
Yeah, full on. Now we live in Connecticut. Like,
well, that's
two
the
little
Mason-Dixon line of New York, Boston sports, brother.
I lived in Brooklyn for a long time. I'd be repping Sox hats everywhere. NYPD guys giving me dirty looks on the platform. Like just not a lot of love there.
Right.
And now we're in Connecticut, and like my kids play hockey. They're little. They're like 6 and 8. They're just getting going.
Okay.
And it's like Rangers junior, like learn to play, and all the kids are out there in like Rangers get up.
You all right with that?
And they were like, we can get them a jersey. And I was like, nah, we're going to keep the Bruins ones on. That's all right. Thanks. So, like, it's just two little, like, Bruins kids out there, skating around in a sea of, like, red and blue.
Yeah.
But at least we're far enough out in Connecticut now that people are like, all right, like, it's technically New England.
Right. So you're east of Hartford? Is that where you are?
No, we're in Weston.
Okay, I know where you
if
are.
anyone wants the address,
no,
I can
I'm just because I spent 7 years at ESPN, so I know exactly. Again, like
20 minutes north of Westport.
Right.
Yeah.
So you need to if you're west, you're closer to New York, so that's why.
It's understandable. I get why there's a lot of Yankees fans out there.
Okay.
And I do feel like people, rightfully so, should be a little embarrassed to be Giants and Jets fans, so I don't see a lot of that being repped where we are, you know what I mean?
Just
but like,
let your freak flag fly, Jake Lacy. Okay, no, but you have every right to feel really good about what's happening.
It's unbelievable.
It's by the way, cool. Chris, I love that reaction here where I just mentioned Drake Maye and you're like, dude. Dude.
Oh, somebody was calling him Drake Maybe for the first couple of games, and I was like, watch it, dude. Just watch what happens.
Drake Maybe. I hadn't heard that one.
Yeah. Cousin Sal came up with Drake Maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's not a bad one. I like that.
Well, since he came up with cousin Drake Maybe, he's won 8 in a row.
Yeah, then he's going on a tear.
It's worked out.
Well, enjoy those words, my man. Just dig in.
Out.
And he's gotten he's in sights of a record that Dan Marino set for a certain age to win as many games in a row with a passer rating as great as it's been.
That's right.
He's tracking down something that Marino did in 1984, which is.
I was looking at like what the next 3 games are.
Well,
they're winnable games.
Well, Cincinnati. We're moving on to Cincinnati.
We're moving on to Cincinnati.
And
Burrow's taking reps, right? He's got some snaps going.
He's taking reps. Yeah. I think he's playing.
You think he's going?
So Zach Taylor just said that there's no distinction. They're going to wait as long as possible. They have till 4 o'clock tomorrow to remove him and put him on the active list. But he's questionable right now.
Whatever.
All right.
Let me ask you this question: how do you think it's going, right, in New England right now when somebody says to Vrabel, they won't say if they're playing Burrow or not? Do you think he's losing sleep about getting ready for Flacco instead?
I mean, Joe Cool. That's
Yeah. Burrow coming, but this is let's linger on your Pats here for a minute because they look terrific and they are set.
That's so exciting.
They are 100% set. So, did you go to Foxborough when there were just the old metal seats and stuff like that, or that was still that
by the time I got to go to a game, it was cleaned up.
Okay,
but like I used to go to Fenway as a kid, and there was still, I guess it's still there, but like. The urinals are just a trough.
It's like ancient Rome.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
Right.
And like, that was before you could sit on the monster and things like that. Or like, before TD Garden, just like some of that old kind of scuzzy Boston sports.
Fleet Center.
I was born in 86. So like, as a kid, got the tail end of being like a losing region and then the insanity of the Celtics, the Bruins, the Pats, like winning in the same year.
Parades everywhere, man.
Yeah.
Are you an obnoxious Patriots fan, New England fan? Be honest, Jake.
No,
be honest here.
I don't know that.
Are you a masshole or not?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not that far gone. But like, we had this discussion in the house, like, my wife is from Eastern PA and then grew up in Jacksonville, after she was 10. So like, the Jaguars are also like kicking around in our house a little bit.
Okay.
But we're, boys are born in New York and we're living there. And she was like, let them let them like support whatever team they want.
No.
And I was like,
No.
they can be whatever they want in this world. They can do whatever they want, love whoever they love. I don't care. But like, it's a non-negotiable. This is a Boston house. Like, I don't know what to tell you. They're Sox fans. Like, there's just no other way this is going to work out on. Like, genuinely, whoever they want to be, whoever they are, let's support it. But like, this is what's happening. And it's worked out. You know what I mean?
So
Like,
I married somebody from New England, okay? From Boston proper.
Oh, yeah.
And so when our firstborn, who's now 17, we got all sorts of stuff to the house, like Red Sox onesies, Celtics bibs, Patriots,
love it.
socks, all that sort of stuff. And I made because I knew I had one preemptory here because I'm a New Yorker.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
One preemptory. I could remove one from the jury box.
Got it.
And I chose the Red Sox, but that wasn't happening.
You go, I just can't.
So my younger son, because my oldest son is not that much into sports.
Okay.
He's more of an actor. So keep your head on a swivel there.
Yeah. Come on down.
So my youngest son will go to college and they'll say, who do you root for? And he'll say Patriots, Celtics, Yankees. Yeah. And they'll look at him like he has three heads.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's it, man.
For sure.
I get you.
One of the first acting jobs I had, this blew me away that, I don't know, in a couple ways. A guy I worked with who became a really good friend, saw him in the elevator. We're going down to rehearsal. He's got a Yankees hat on. I'm like, all right, guy's from New York, okay. And the next day I see him and he's got a Red Sox hat on. And I go, what's your deal, dude? Like, what are you doing? And he was like, what are you talking about? I was like, you had a Yankees hat on yesterday. You got a Sox hat on today? And he was like, I grew up in New York. I made a movie in Boston. I like Boston. I was like, you can't do that. And I was so young.
Name this actor.
But he was like,
I want the name of this actor, Jim.
His name's Lucas Calabruni, and he's a wonderful. But the beauty of that story is that he was like, I'm not actually that attached to it. Mm-hmm. You have a whole world built around these people and these legacies. I just enjoy baseball. And I was like, my brain was blown.
It melted. Well, I mean, Jason Feller, who's at the audio board, if you can see him through the television cameras, he's wearing a Dodger hat because he's local and he's a Dodger fan.
Red.
The individual who also sits there is a longtime New Jerseyan. Whatever. He's from Jersey. And he's been out here for 30 years. And he's a diehard Yankee fan. And that's all, honestly, that's all Del Tufo has been talking about in the 11-year history of this show is Yankees this, Yankees that. Dodgers win last year, beat the Yankees. Hold up the hat that he now wears.
What's going on there?
Exactly.
First of all, who's making those hats?
Right?
Another
member of our staff, RJ Herrera, who will now be hiding.
That's a custom hat?
Yes. Yeah. Made it for him.
And he's should be customarily destroyed.
We showed that to Will Smith of the Dodgers on a Zoom this week, and even he thought that was
problematic.
Blasphemy.
Problematic.
Conan, I don't know Conan O'Brien personally, but he was joking about being at like Sox-Dodgers games and that he'd been to some at Fenway and some here, and he was like, Dodgers lost, Sox won, and that all the fans around him were like, good game. That was a good game. Like, hey, well, maybe next time. Everybody was like, it doesn't work that way. Fenway, like, even if they win, they're like, you thought you were going to come in here?
No, I heard it. I heard it. Jake Lacy here on the Rich Eisen Show. It's great to meet you here, and you are a decent guy. I think we're getting to meet you, and I've heard from people who.
He's all right.
But this just shows you how great an actor you are. That you would willingly blow up your relationship with Alexandra Daddario on the White Lotus.
Yeah.
That is weird.
What was in the script? I was like, "Are we sure about this? Are we sure this is right?"
Sure my character would do that.
I mean, there's room for a rewrite. We haven't shot yet. Maybe he's just cool about whatever she wants to do because she's way out of his league. Are we sure? Yeah. Okay.
You didn't sidebar with Mike White on that one in any way, shape, or form?
No. Mike is such a genius. Little he's playing on this other level. We shot the whole thing, then we get
in Hawaii, right?
Yeah, in Maui at the Four Seasons. Yeah, that was wild. It's November 2020, so
Wow. Sure.
Lockdowns and quarantine times and tests every day and face shield. Like, it just is crazy.
So there was no hanging out on the White Lotus set when it's all done?
No, and there's no guests at the hotel. Like, no one's there.
It's like The Shining?
Yeah, a little bit.
Wow.
With less like axe work and less like, give me the bat. Like a little less of that.
Because I don't remember Scatman Crothers being in the first season of White Lotus. Okay, very good.
Less like, no women in my tub skin.
Nice.
No twins in the hallway.
But then halfway through, they had to kind of adjust the quarantine times because the entire economy of Hawaii was going to collapse without tourism.
Sure.
So even though the COVID situation hadn't changed, like the regulations changed, which meant now there's guests at the hotel. And so where previously we'd been walking around in this bubble, now there's paying people there who no one was going to say, like, put your mask on. But also the union stuff was like, if anyone tests positive, even a false positive, like they quarantine for 10 days.
Yeah, I remember, man.
So it was like a weird, you're living in like 3 different realities and we couldn't leave the hotel. So that was, anyway, so we film all this stuff, then we do press later, and Mike is like, he just goes, oh, I thought it would be funny to show a body in the first episode and then not show it again until the end, because all these TV shows are so obsessed with, like, you got to have a body, there's got to be a death. And it's a commentary on, like, narrative media landscape right now. And I was like, where was this 6 months ago? Like, that's insane. I thought we were satirizing, the wealthy or the way that money influences relationships in all forms.
Yeah.
But you're also making a comment on the stories we tell and why we tell them that way, all at the same time. Which I don't know. I just think he's
Damn.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Were you surprised at how much of a massive hit that this became, and it's now launched a massive franchise?
Man, we were making it, and I thought, this is really cool. We were all really excited. I hadn't seen anything like it. But I've been on stuff where I thought, this is really cool. And then whatever, you see the edit or whatever happens between what you think you're making and what the product is, and you go, that's not quite it. That's a little short of what we thought we were doing here. And this was the opposite, where I thought, like, this is really cool. And then they sent, the cast or whatever, the first episodes cut together and edited, and I was like, whoa, this is twice as good as I thought. I mean, this is amazing. Between even just that music, the music coming in and panning across the wallpaper and all that stuff, I was like, this is amazing. If I wasn't on it, I'd be so pissed I wasn't on it.
Yes.
Like I'd be calling somebody to go, like, how do I get on this? Why didn't I know about that thing? Like, yeah, it was so exciting. But you can never guess. You can never know, like, anyone who goes, like, people are going to love it, you're like, you don't know what you're talking about.
It's more than love, too. I mean, it also, there's no show on TV that makes something that looks so idyllic look like a facade, that there's always something bubbling beneath the surface that's not great.
Yes.
And I got to be honest, watching that first season, I was so pissed with your character. I was just angry. I'm like, what is this dude's malfunction? So you did a great job, Jake.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, when
This guy's such a D-bag. Like, what is this deal?
when she's crying and like breaking up with you, and I'm like, yeah, finally, like I was angry.
This does happen though, where people are like, people will speak to me that I don't know that are like, well, that guy's a real problem, and I can't help but be like, well, they didn't give him the right room. I will say that, and they sort of think it's a bit, you know what I mean? They're like, he's playing into it. And I'm like, no, for real. Like, it's $20,000 a night for that room, and they gave him the wrong room. So
his mother set it up.
Yeah, I mean, she wants to write freelance, but for $200, he has a point. It's not kind, but it does if you just run the numbers.
Don't think you have much of a leg to stand on, Jake.
No.
How much office do you get when you're walking around?
Sometimes people still are like, plop, and I'm like, oh man. I'm so happy to have. It was my favorite show. I couldn't believe I got to be on it, and I was like,
season 9, right? That's what you're on.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
the new gym.
Right, tacked on right at the end. Yeah, to the point where they were like, we might do a season 10 if you and Clark really have some chemistry. And like 3 episodes in, they came on when we were doing the bus episode with Bryan Cranston, and they were like, "Bad news, gang. We're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna wrap it up." Clark and I were both like, "Guess we didn't really have the juice." Like, guess they didn't see a future with us, huh? Whoops.
Wow.
But, yeah, people do still say Plop, which is like a nickname that character didn't want.
Right.
And to get it now 10 years later on the street is
has
like, all right.
Has that happened with your 6 and your 4-year-old around yet?
Oh, where people
come up to you and
publicly
say plop to you, which is a word that I think a young child might delight in, unless it's directed at dad.
That's really funny. No, I've not thought of that.
Well, that's going to happen, pal. That's coming.
Politely come up and said, "Hey, I saw you in the thing." Yeah. And my kids are like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Oh, they've seen some work I've done," and try to like normalize it.
Of course.
And also just be regular, not make a thing, right?
Sure.
But no, I hadn't thought about that at some point.
Get ready, pal.
Plop, and they're like, "What is that?"
Well, sit down.
I was
Dad's got a
accused
story.
of taking dumps. A character I played was unjustly accused of pooping all the time. And that legacy is now
yours.
Will follow me to the grave.
It's yours. It's not yours.
Own it. Yeah, yours, yeah.
Oh, my God. Own it.
Yep.
Oh, man.
I'd love to. Let's end on that note. Let me ride off into the sunset.
Well, actually, I guess since we're on the potty subject, before we got about a minute left, did you like our green room commode? The sign that's right there. Yeah.
Do your job. But like,
yeah,
I don't have any bladder issues, but I can imagine a person who's maybe having a hard time or a little backed up seeing that sign and being like, "I'm trying." I'm doing my best.
Don't you think that was the reaction of many Patriots for 2 decades?
Oh my God!
To the do your job, like I got it. We understand.
To not want to hear the excuse of being like,
"I'm doing my best."
A 300-pound man is forcing me into the dirt, Bill. I'm doing my best. Right. Like. He's like, "Just do it. Just do your job."
Yeah, there it is. That's what greets our guests.
I was so excited. Turned the corner and was like, "Oh, I'm home."
Little taste of home. All Her Fault, available now for streaming exclusively on Peacock. 8-episode series. Check it out as soon as you can. Anytime you're around, you want to come back here, let's hang.
Not scheduled, just
anytime. Just knock on the door.
Rich, pop in. You guys hanging?
Hollywood Tower, then here.
Sunset Tower.
Sunset Tower. Yeah, let's get a table for.
Yeah, we'll have Dimitri sit you.
Oh, the best. Came out of retirement.
He did indeed.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll explain the story when we come back. Right here on the Rich Eisen Show. Jake Lacy,
right,
everybody.
Jake.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Come back.